Can listening to the sound current without initiation be harmful? Or listening with the left ear? I have tinnitus. You can pronounce either way, which means a problem with the ear where you can hear sharp sound which bother you. I have tinnitus. What shall I do to listen and hear sound current? Let me start from the tinnitus or the tinnitus. This is a disease of the ear. It's a problem in the auricle system. And in that problem, the sound is shrill and bothers you. It is not the sound current. It's a sound in the ear. It's not a sound of the self. It is always on one side, one of the ears, or in both ears. It is sound connected directly with the physical ears, and it's not the sound current that we speak of. The sound current we speak of comes from the center. When you put your attention at the third eye center behind the eyes, the sound that really pulls you does not come from either side, not left or right. It comes right from the center. You can take advantage of some sounds that are coming from either side, from the ear, just for practice to put your attention in the middle of your head. No more. They are practice sounds, and they do not constitute the list of sounds that you can hear which have a pull, which start with the bell sound, something like a bell with a long peal, and that can be heard when your attention is sufficiently concentrated right in the center. And the experience you get when you hear that sound is, first of all, it's not so close, looks like it's a sound from a distance, like a bell ringing from a distance. And it's very melodious. You don't get the jarring sound of it beat. Like if you ring a bell, you see the jarring sign when it's hit. It does not have that. It just has the melodious part of it. And it has a pull because once you start listening and put your attention on that sound, you begin to very quickly forget where you are. It pulls your attention faster than any amount of meditational pressure that you can put through Simran or repetition. That's the inner sound. We have been told sometimes that you should listen to the sound in the right ear, that is Dayal, and don't listen on the left ear, that is Kal. These are physical sounds. And whether you call it Dayal or Kal is merely a physiological phenomenon. It's a physiology of the body. That the brain that's functioning and is making us have experiences at this time is divided into right and left, and one is the more intuitive side and one is more rational side. So just because the sounds come from there, we consider them more intuitive and more rational, and therefore we call rational as Kal and intuitive as Dayal. But really, these sounds, whether they come from the right or the left, are not going to be the real sound that will pull us up. A lot of emphasis is put by some people, which sometimes makes me feel that we are turning a real spiritual practice into merely hearing physical sounds in the ears. That's not spirituality. I have seen people trying to hear their sound from the right ear 15 years. And they say, it's always right ear. I said, did you make any progress? No, I keep on hearing the sound. What good is that? We are not trying to listen to just a shrieking sound somewhere in the right ear or the left ear. We are trying to see the melody that emanates from the soul, that emanates from ourselves. And none of these sounds from the right or the left are going to be that melody. But you can use these sounds just for the practice of putting your attention within your head. If you can hear the right hand sound, use it. If you can't hear the right hand sound, left hand sound, use that. If you can hear both, then prefer the right hand, just because it's the intuitive side. This is not a very big difference. But the real sound will come when your attention is concentrated on being at the center. If you try to put your attention on one ear or the other, you will never reach the center. And people have made that mistake of trying to say, I want to hear sound. The right side is Diyal sound and not Kal sound. And all the time they have shifted away from the center because of trying to move to the right. That's not what is needed. What is needed is to stay in the center, that third eye center right behind the eyes, and the right sound will come. Meanwhile, whatever sound you hear, use it like a practice sound. Some people can hear sounds, even the real sound, and they say we can hear that sound even before initiation. Very often that happens when that person has been initiated in a past life. It's just a continuum of the practice done in a past life. And these people can hear the sound clearly, they can have vision inside, they can have experiences, spiritual experiences, without being initiated in this life, because they have been initiated in the past life. This is their subsequent life after that. So many people have this experience, and they wonder how we can get all this. Sometimes you can have these experiences because you practice some kind of meditation and you are switching over to the path of sound current, and you just could not, and you just pick up the point at that point, even if you are not initiated by a perfect living master. Even if you are initiated by a master and you could switch over to the sound when you died, you can still start off at a very early age hearing the sound. I see very small children sometimes, they hear the sound, they see visions, they see light, and they are already ready. And they make rapid progress when they grow up, unless they are distracted by the life's events and by karma, and then they have to go around and come back when they are later in life, and they recall what they did in childhood, and they pick up the thread again. There are so many different kind of patterns of life to which we go through. Listening to the sound without being guided is not very useful if you don't know what you are doing about it. But if there is some guidance, even without being initiated, if there is somebody guiding what to do, and I just explained to you the different sounds, then there's nothing harm. It's not harmful to listen to the sound.